Welcome back to DaveStation. With me again, as always, you know I'm going to say, he's the main man, he's the CEO of Chorizo Machine, the reason this channel is here. Mike, how are you doing?
Mate, you're too kind. I'm doing okay. I got a cold. I was moaning about this on another video, I'm sure, but could be worse. Really looking forward to doing this top 5 Amiga games. I can't wait.
Yep, it's going to be fantastic. So Mike and I have compiled a list of our top 5 Amiga games. Mike usually goes first, so this time I'll go first if you like.
Yes, please.
So for me, in at number 5, we have got Speedball 2 Brutal Deluxe, which we recently covered on this channel. Shameless plug, check out Old School, because we played it there, me and Mike. Fantastic game. It's sort of a futuristic handball / I suppose you could call it American football style game, where you're essentially controlling a team of robots. It's absolutely awesome, it's tons of fun, but also there's a strategic element to it, because you can upgrade your players' stats, and also you can repair their armour and any damage they get, which is brilliant, and it's a Bitmap Brothers game. Need I say more?
Yeah, it's an awesome choice. I knew it would be in your top 5, this game. I'd imagine most people with the top 10s or the top 20s when it comes to Amiga games, Speedball 2 is going to be in there or thereabouts. Fantastic game, just incredible. And like Dave said, guys, check out the playlist. It is on there. We did some 2-player, worked seamlessly over Parsec, and we had a whale of a time. Number 5 from me is Xenon 2 Mega Blast. Dave, a game that's got memories for you and I remember coming to your house and showing you this game.
Yeah, I can remember. I fired up the Amiga 1200 and you said, Dave, check this shmup out, because you knew how much I like the shmups. And wow, the first thing, you know exactly what I'm going to say, was the music. That got me hooked.
I think it's the best shmup of all time.
Yeah.
Bar none, basically. I mean, there's so many good shmups around, but Xenon 2 for me, it's got a lot of memories. It reminds me of where I was around the time. I mean, I first played this game on an Atari ST over a friend's house when I was in primary school. Wow. So we're going way back. I'm showing my age there. So it was cool to play it on the Amiga. I think the Amiga version is slightly better graphically, whereas the ST, the music and the sound effects sounded better over on that platform. But yeah, awesome game. Best shmup of all time. Bomb the Bass do the soundtrack, or they do the name of the song in the game. And yeah, guys, check it out if you haven't played it before. Mate, what's at number 4 for you?
So number 4 for me is a legendary pinball title, because one thing about the Commodore Amiga, there were some fantastic pinball games. From Digital Illusions, it's Pinball Dreams. I absolutely love Pinball Dreams. People are going to laugh at me, I'm sure, when I say about the physics of the game. It feels like a pinball table. It looks fantastic graphically. And also the soundtrack for the tables. I love the soundtrack. It's catchy, it's cool, it's fun. And I absolutely love Pinball Dreams.
Awesome. Yeah, awesome game. I'm glad that's in your top 5. I say awesome. I've seen people play it. I remember the reviews. Yeah. I've seen footage. I've never played Pinball Dreams. So I do need to, or maybe we need to feature it on Old School.
Absolutely, yeah, maybe a good shout, that one. And of course, Digital Illusions did some other pinball games that also came out on the Amiga.
What was the name? Who did Pinball Fantasies?
Digital Illusions.
Oh, see, I've played that, but I haven't played Pinball Dreams. That's interesting. Okay, that's a good choice, my man. A very good choice. Up at number 4, then, is a point-and-click adventure called Beneath a Steel Sky. Oh, this game. This has got a lot of memories. I'm probably going to say that about every game on my list. You remembered Beneath a Steel Sky, Dave? Didn't we play this together? I can't remember.
I think we did, yeah. Back on my old channel, which has collected a ton of dust.
Yes.
We did Beneath a Steel Sky, because I remember you wanted to cover that for Dave and Mike reviews. A really, really good game. You've got to give us your reasons, because it was such a damn good game.
Yeah, there's a story behind this. So there was a guy in school. He was like, Mike, I've bought a point-and-click adventure. Save me. I really don't like it. Give me a $5 for it. And I was like, yes, definitely. I kind of regretted it at the time, because when I opened the box, there was 15 discs inside.
Yeah, that's
a lot. That's a lot of loading.
That's just mad, isn't it? 15 discs.
Yeah, and the footage you can see, guys, I've chopped it up. I've cut out the loading screens. They are so long. But the good thing is, when you go back to a room you've already been to, I think the Amiga has cached that in its memory, so it doesn't have to load that room again, so that was cool. But yeah, point-and-click adventures don't get much better than this. Well, they do, but we'll get to that later. It's just one of my favourite point-and-click adventures of all time. The whole atmosphere in this game, the story. It's made by, or it's published by the guys who then later on brought us the likes of Broken Sword on the PS1.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, so just incredible game. Highly thought of by people in the point-and-click community, if you like, even if there is such a community, I don't know. But I just remember people raving about it, had great reviews. I always remember Dave actually told me this, and I didn't know this. So the version you can see I've captured, guys, just Amiga 1200, but the Amiga CD32 version has speech, and you told me that, Dave. I didn't know.
Yeah, absolutely. I was blown away. I tried that because I actually have a CD32, and to hear speech when the text was appearing on the screen just absolutely blew me away. It really added to the experience as well to hear voice acting in that game. Fantastic.
Yeah, it does. It is better with the voice acting because I've played the PC version since, and recently, like last year or whatever, and there's speech in that, and it does make the experience a lot better. It's a very funny game as well. It's got really good writing and good humour in there. So yeah, Beneath a Steel Sky. Dave, what is up for number 3 for you, my man?
So, in at number 3 for me, everybody always talks about Mario and Sonic when it comes to platformers, and hardly anyone ever talks about this particular platformer, or at least the sequel to this particular platformer, known as Zool 2. I absolutely love Zool 2. I know it's a bit divisive and some people don't necessarily like it, but I do. I think it's fun. I like the level design. I like the characters, because there's actually 2 characters you can choose from in the game. And I think it's just one of those games that I go back to and still play to this very day. I played the PC version all the way back in the day and still have my original copy, but I like the Amiga version. I think the music on the Amiga version is absolutely fantastic. So Zool 2 is one that, if you love your platformers, you should check it out. It is awesome.
Good choice. I didn't know people would be or are divisive over Zool 2. I thought it was like universally praised. Super colourful graphics. It looks gorgeous, doesn't it, on the Amiga, this game?
Yeah. Yeah, it does. And if you play the 1200 version, you get the AGA enhanced graphics, so you get a more detailed background and more colours. It just looks fantastic on the 1200. And that's the version, Mike, that I got with my Amiga 1200 when I bought it.
Oh, did you? You had it bundled?
I actually, a bit like yourself, I bought mine obviously secondhand many years later, and a fully boxed copy of Zool 2 was included in the bundle. Yeah, it was included in the bundle the guy sold me. It was amazing. Yeah,
super cool game. Not as good as Bubsy, I'm kidding. Zool 2 is cool. Just as an aside, guys, Bubsy on the Amiga, I actually played a lot of that. I didn't mind it, I have to say. It's alright on the Amiga, the 2D version, but anyway, that's for another video. Zool 2 then, at number 3 for Dave.
Yes.
It's a good choice. Chupa Chups. I always think of
Chupa Chups.
So it's over to me, isn't it? Yeah, so number 3 for me, my name's Mike. Hello, everyone. Is Cannon Fodder.
Oh, okay.
Cannon Fodder is, it's just such an interesting game, really simplistic in design, but has got a lot of depth to it at the same time. You basically, you could see from the footage, guys, a lot of you would have played this, but you're just point and clicking your little soldiers around and just taking out enemies, and that's all there is to it. Loads of humour in this, a bit like I said with Beneath a Steel Sky. It's a very funny game, British developer, incredible game. Just playing this to capture this footage. The game hasn't aged. It would do well today with a HD remake. It really would. It's so strategic and fun, but also really accessible. So yeah, Cannon Fodder for me at number 3. Dave, number 2 for you.
Number 2 for me, well, we've had it already, haven't we? Bitmap Brothers, Bomb the Bass. Mike introduced me to it. Amiga 1200, back when I played it, of course. Xenon 2, Mega Blast. Quite simply, one of the best shmups or shoot-em-ups that you're ever going to play. Absolutely fantastic. Yes, it's frustrating. Yes, it's difficult, but it's brilliant. It's a lot of fun. You can also upgrade your weapons, which I like. You can actually go to a shop and you can buy and sell things that you pick up. It's just such a really good game with some strategy. You can end up going the wrong way, which basically means it's game over.
Yeah.
What a game.
I'm so glad you picked up on that point, because I forgot to mention that. Yeah. When you either go right or left. If you go right, you've had it. It's a dead end.
Yeah.
It's so punishing. I loved that with the 8-bit and the 16-bit games, though. It really kept you on your toes. Xenon 2, we've said it all before, guys. Incredible. If you haven't played it and you like that style of game, Xenon 2 won't disappoint you. It is that good. My number 2... This was a tough one for me, picking number 2, because it was either this or what has turned out to be number 1, which I'll talk about in a bit. But in at number 2 is Jimmy White's Whirlwind Snooker. Dave, have you played this?
I have, yes, and I've also played its follow-up as well, because it also got a release on the Sony PlayStation. And Jimmy White Snooker, from what I can remember, appeared on the Mega Drive, which is where I would have played the original version.
Oh, interesting. I don't think we've ever talked to each other about this game. And I didn't know you'd played it, and I didn't know it was on the Mega Drive. That's really interesting.
Yep. Yeah, it got a Mega Drive port.
This game, I remember seeing screenshots in Amiga Format, I think, was the magazine, before I got my hands on the game, so in the reviews and the like, and I was just like, wow, look at the style, the graphical style of this. It looked like a high-end sort of PC game or something, so I couldn't wait to buy it, and when I did get it for my birthday, it's all I played. I'm not even a big fan of snooker, guys. I used to watch a lot of it when I was a kid, because my grandfather was really good at snooker. I think he played at amateur level or whatever, so I used to watch him play, and obviously snooker was on the TV a lot. And this game captured snooker, it really did. I just love the way you can just explore the entirety of the table. I love silly things with it as well, like if you take too long to take a shot. Now, I didn't manage to capture this in the footage, guys, but it does happen. The balls, or the cue ball pulls a silly face at you, things like that. It was just so cool. It was such a quirky game. But the physics, we always talk about physics on this channel when it comes to sports games. The balls, lots of balls, they felt like snooker balls. And it was satisfying getting that really complicated pot, and it was so good. What did you think?
I absolutely loved Jimmy White's Whirlwind Snooker. That, to me, set the standard for snooker games from that point forward, because of all the reasons you said. You had the different viewpoints, you had the ball physics. It was absolutely fantastic. A little bit of humour thrown in there as well.
Yeah.
If I remember correctly as well, you could do trick shots, which was also good fun as an aside to playing straight up snooker. Great game.
Yeah, there's an entire trick shot mode, I think. It was just such a good game. I never did actually get to beat Jimmy White because he was the final boss. And I wasn't very good at the game, as you'll see from the footage, but it was addictive, and I swear I spent a lot of my time. But Dave, what is the winner? What is your favourite Amiga game of all time?
My favourite Amiga game of all time. We've covered it on Old School. We played it. We actually did it co-op. This was quite some time ago. The game that is number 1 for me, the best Amiga game of all time, is Chaos Engine. Another Bitmap Brothers game. I absolutely love this game. It's one of those sort of, I suppose you could call it a shoot 'em up to some degree. You're wandering around a map, you're destroying these, I don't know, transmitters, I suppose you can call them, which opens up other parts of the level. You've got these enemies coming at you, these collectibles. It is just tons of fun. Graphically looks great, love the audio, and you've got different characters with different abilities that you can select. What a game. Brilliant game on the Amiga. You've got to play it.
Yeah, graphically this is gorgeous. This just missed out on my top 5, but it would definitely be in my top 10. I preferred playing this when I played it co-op with you, Dave.
Yeah.
Because back in the day, I only played it solo, and I thought it was just incredible. But co-op, it's even more fun. Like most gaming is, actually. But yeah, the Chaos Engine, everything Dave said. Graphically, though, just this game. I love the character models and how the steampunk setting and just the enemies and just the map design, the level design, everything about it is so good. It's a good choice for your winner, mate. We'll do honourable mentions in a minute. I'll just give my number 1. So my number 1 isn't going to surprise Dave at all. It might not surprise you guys watching. I have mentioned this game on the channel a few times, but it is The Secret of Monkey Island, the best point-and-click adventure time It's always adventure time in my house. The best point-and-click adventure game of all time. It's hilarious. The writing is exceptional. The setting, it's an incredibly unique game. The combat or the way you fight other people in it is just like you tell jokes, and whoever tells the sort of insults, I think it is, whoever gives the best insult wins the fight. And there's loads of adventure going on. Beautiful graphics, incredible music as well, and The Secret of Monkey Island deserves all the plaudits it has received over the years. And there's a remake out now, or it might be a sequel, I'm not sure. It's available on the Series X and PS5. I still haven't played it. I need to check that out. But yeah, The Secret of Monkey Island at number 1. Dave, any honourable mentions?
Yeah, just to quickly touch on The Secret of Monkey Island, and this will probably just double down on what you've said. When I think of point and click, when someone says to me point and click games, the genre, Monkey Island is the first game that comes straight into my mind, because I played it, like yourself, back in the day, loved the humour, loved the atmosphere, loved the storyline. Great game, tons of fun. On to honorary mentions though. Neither of us have mentioned a certain football game in our top 5, which surprises me a little bit, because on the Commodore Amiga, there was a certain football game called Sensible World of Soccer, which both of us managed to miss, so that's one honorary mention.
Or, also known as Swaz. Sorry, mate.
Yeah, also known, as Mike has quite brilliantly put it, as Swaz. My main honorary mention, though, the game that I wrote down for this list, was actually Lemmings 2 The Tribes. Everyone thinks of just Lemmings, the first Lemmings. Lemmings 2 was fantastic with the additional abilities that you could select. Great game, great theme to the game, great music. Loved it.
Haven't you, or haven't we, featured Lemmings 2 The Tribes on this channel before, on a Christmas special or something? Because I hadn't played it before until you introduced me to it. Incredible game. Really addictive.
Yeah. On to your honorary mentions. Let's go for it.
So, my honourable mentions. I've just got the 2, actually. It would have been 3, but Dave's already mentioned Swaz. My other 2 were going to be Speedball 2. We've just talked about it. Incredible game. And the other one, it's a bit of a weird entry in my honourable mentions. And again, this is just memories. This is the football game I played the most on the Amiga, and it is Goal! Exclamation mark. Incredible football game. I think Dino Dini, Dodgy Dino Dini, I think he's behind this, the guy from Kickoff.
Yeah.
Dave's chortling away. So Goal, and I guess Batman the Caped Crusader was a cool game as well. You had 2 different game modes, the Joker side, the Penguin side. I played a bit of that, but I captured some footage of that game for this video earlier, and it doesn't stand up today, whereas all the other games do. That's why it missed out on my top 5. But anyway, Dave, over to you, mate, for the outro, because this is your playlist. This is DaveStation.
Yes, and thank you for watching another awesome episode of DaveStation where we did our top 5 Amiga games. In the comments below, I want to know, and Mike definitely wants to know, what are some of your favourite Amiga games and why? What are your memories with the Commodore Amiga as a system as well? Because it's been around for a long time. There's still a lot of people that love that system, myself included. And we will catch you again soon for another episode of DaveStation, and thank you for watching.
Swaz.